Hi and welcome. I am YASSIN bin ABDALLAH, fourth year student from Computer Engineering Department. We're gonna start our presentation about the blockchain in voting system, feasibilities and impact. So, starting with what is blockchain technology? In fact, blockchain technology is a transparency and open source distributed ledger that it's crucial for cryptocurrencies and contains several key features such as transparency, immutability, as well as increased governance with a security. This is a very good stuff to have a voting system that is based on blockchain and go away from our normal and traditional voting system that have several challenges. So, weakness and flaws of the current voting system is starting by the lack of transparency. So, voters are not trusting that much that system and the result. As well, vulnerable to several threats such as fraud and election integrity threats. Low voter trust also reduce the election legitimacy and an efficient organization and delay of result publication. As well, we're gonna have a high cost due to traditional infrastructure. So, advantage for using the blockchain technology in voting gonna be transparency. So, voters can access the records easily. As well, in part of security, the cryptographic protocols keep the data integrity in check. As well, accessibility gonna be maintained and that's going to be offered as people and citizens do not need to go and be present physically. They can vote remotely. In point of efficiency, people gonna have the result released as soon as possible, as well by the minimized manual error. And in the long term, we're gonna have a low cost by using this technology. Thank you.
Okay, so my name is Mohamed NACEF. I am actually the representative of this group. I'm going to continue with the components of the blockchain based voting. Actually, here we're going to talk about the blockchain ledger, which is acts as a secure, tamper-proof record of all votes. We can see that this is ensures transparency and auditability by recording each vote as a unique, immutable transaction. Okay, and also voters can verify their votes without revealing their identity. This is kind of anonymous, and we all want this, and I think it's a positive sign of this technology. And also, we're gonna say talk about cryptography, which protects voter privacy through some encryption using some algorithms. This is also ensures the anonymity of uh, each voter. Okay, also we're going to talk about smart contracts which automate voting processes like ballot distribution, vote tallying, and result publication, ensure that the rules are enforced without manual intervention. Okay, so everything is ready for you. You gotta do what you got to do, and you don't have to talk about anything else. Consensus mechanisms. This is gonna guarantee the integrity of the voting system by agreeing on validity of transaction votes. Okay, here we're gonna talk about proof of stake and proof of authority. Okay, yeah, and that's it. Like it's gonna prevent double voting, or we can say manipulation. This is better. Okay, and then here are actually some cases, original cases, and apparently, before like time before, for no, I'm saying 6 years. Before 6 years, some people used it before actually, like in West Virginia, USA, adopted blockchain to facilitate secure voting for overseas military employees, and also Estonia. And by the way, we're gonna talk about Estonia. Estonia is a fully digital country. Yes, there is no single transaction or any single thing using papers. Okay, they all use how can I say, all digital transactions, all things. Okay, and here we can see that they developed a way to include blockchain like systems in voting. In both cases we can see positives, where higher security than was achieved at a lower operational cost with improved vote confidence despite implementation complications. So this is great actually. We saw a good result. Okay, and due to the time I will not be able to give another examples, but it's ready for you. So, and the third part for me is the key technical implementation challenges. In terms of scalability, cybersecurity risk, infrastructure cost, and user adoption, we also should take care of latency in terms of voting systems using these technologies. We must remember that maybe millions or thousands of people are using are voting each year, or maybe each 5 years, or I don't know, it depends. Also the cybersecurity attacks, in which in all fields this is a threat and this is a big risk. Like here we can see the US attack. There are a lot of things like phishing, we can say. Okay, also the establishment of the environment, which will take a lot of efforts. Okay, it's not easy to implement such a system. The cost that will face initially, that anyone will face initially, because this is a new technology and we have to train people how to use it. That's first. Okay, many people right now are kind of old, they are not ready for such technology, so you have to provide some training. Okay, so we can take advantage of it. And finally, all the transaction must be as smooth as possible, so the user would love to consume such a technology and know about it and maybe develop it in terms of voting system. Okay, last but not least, we are going to talk here about legal and ethical consideration. Here, there are some regulations. Everyone should stick to it, like continuing to meet requirements under existing electoral and data protection legalization. These are kind of the contracts we're going to sign when we are going to vote. Okay, and also voter privacy, maintaining the degree of openness of the voting process while preserving the voter identity. Okay, this is privacy we talked about, and we use it, we ensure it using some encryption like cryptography or algorithms. Okay, while developing. Also the digital divide, exclusion of some citizens from the use of digital voting technologies and the tricks of avoiding it. This is also important because some people are not gonna stay regulated to this, so we should take some regulations or rules to exclude these kind of citizens. Last, we're going to talk about ethical concerns to prevent misuse of the data and to ensure the free and fair elections where they are applicable. Like I said, this whole process should be as ethical as possible, so nothing will go wrong and everything will be as smooth as possible. And actually, this is kind of a good project if we think about it. Okay, and thank you all. Now, my friend will continue with you.
My name is Mohammed Shamsan, and this is my part of the presentation. First of all, I'm going to talk about the stakeholder perspectives. So, let me talk about how different groups see the use of technology in elections. Governments want elections to be more trusted and reliable. They believe using technology can help people feel more confident about the results. For citizens, technology makes voting easier and more convenient. Um, let's say they can trust the results more and have new ways to take part in elections. Tech providers, the ones building the system, obviously, also face challenges. They need to come up with new ideas and work with governments to make sure uh, the systems are safe and useful. Finally, the election monitors also benefit. It becomes easier for them to check if the elections are fair and if everyone is working properly. Let me go. Okay. So, uh, here, technology in elections uh, has good and bad sides. One problem is that some people might not want to use the new technology. They may not trust or feel comfortable with it. Another issue is trust. People might think technology can't generate fair results, so building their confidence is important. Uh, there's also the danger of relying too much on technology. If the system crashes or is hacked, let's say, it could cause big problems. So, technology can be hard to set up and manage. Systems like blockchain take time, offer money to understand and use. Okay, uh, here let's look for the costs and benefits of using technology in elections. Uh, okay, on the possible side, um, it could save money in the long run using less paperwork, let's say, and fewer manual process reduces costs. It also helps more people vote and build trust by making information safe and easy to access. Uh, but there are costs. Setting up the technology is expensive, and we also need to train staff and run programs to teach people about it. Keeping the system running will also cost money. So all of these are problems we can save. But even with these costs, the long-term benefits like trust, fairness, and savings make it worth it. Make it worth it considering. I mean,
So, continuing with cost benefit analysis, let's quickly go over the trends and the opportunities of it. Starting from trends, the first and I think the most important one in terms of the security and decentralization is the increasing trend of blockchain technology for e-governance and digitalization. Other than that, we have got the use of the electronic and blockchain voting systems in the growing democracies. In addition for that, interpretation with artificial intelligence in order to improve the identification and prevention of fraudulent cases are also common trends. Um, in terms of opportunities, the standard implementation and integration of blockchain voting solution all over the world might be the most common one. In addition to that, we have got exploration and innovation for, I'm sorry, eradications of the existing constraints and issues. So, continuing with implementation guidelines, um, let's firstly start from the pilot projects. You need the first attempt to have small scale implementation to check the viability and to overcome the basic problems. Other than that, I'm sorry, partnerships that engage services of professional and reliable technology suppliers, and blockchain consults. Um, in addition to that, education will be the most noticeable one. You need to organize and facilitate numerous public awareness campaigns and stakeholders training programs. And last but not least, the legislation, which is you need to basically review the electoral laws in order to cooperate and control the usage of the blockchain voting system. Um, so, basically, to conclude everything that have been stated so far by me and by my friends, blockchain has potential to deliver new approaches to solve such familiar concerns of electoral processes, secure, transparent, and inclusive voting. And call to action will be here to effectively implement blockchain in voting. There is need for governments, institutions, and citizens to put money into research, pilot projects, and encourage partnerships. So, I sincerely thank you for your attention. It was Yunis GULIYEV with you. I appreciate your effort. Thank you.